Hello everyone, welcome to the course on UHV. In today's class, we'll be discussing about continuous happiness and prosperity, the basic human aspiration. So, as mentioned previously, in order to have this continuous happiness and prosperity, this is our basic aspirations. So, let's make a list of all that we want in our life and reasons for wanting them. For example, when you start listing, your list may comprise of things such as to be an engineer or an MBA professional, to become doctor, to get the highest grade, to be the first ranker in the examination, to be the smartest guy in the crowd, to be the master of all trades, to earn more wealth than the wealthiest person in the world, etc. Once you have made the list, see if there is anything basic to all of them. Is there any basic aspiration of yours behind all your wants? This is an exercise worth doing to find out your basic aspiration. So let us say you want to be the first ranker in the class. Now, behind this desire to get the first rank, is there a more basic desire? Why do you want to get the first rank? If you keep asking this question, you will find that there is a basic desire. What is this desire? Is it to be happy? Yes, it is. Take any other want or desire, and you will find the same thing. You will find that each of your wants emerges from the basic aspiration to be happy. This can be verified by each one of you. This also implies that every human being is continuously trying to do things that make him or her happy. And every human being is capable of feeling this happiness in himself or herself spontaneously. So it is intrinsic to all of us. So we all are working for it continuously in different ways as per the level of our understanding. Sometimes we succeed, many times we don't. But we still keep trying throughout our life for happiness. You will also find that we want the continuity of this feeling of happiness as well. We do not want happiness in spurts, in intervals, but we want it continuously. We do not want unhappiness even for a moment. How successful we are today in achieving this is a matter for serious exploration. But one thing is clear, that happiness is a basic aspiration of all human beings, and therefore it becomes our prime purpose to gain the correct understanding about it. Going a little further in our exploration, we can also appreciate that being happy implies being free from contradictions, being in consonance with our natural acceptance, being in harmony. So, exploring this happiness and prosperity, um, as I said, the basic human aspiration is for continuity of happiness. So, this should be fulfilled by ensuring right understanding, right feeling, and right thought in the self. The right feeling and right thought is called resolution. Resolution in all aspects of our living calls for clarity about those different aspects of our living self with the body in relation with human being and nature existence. So this happiness, what we're talking about, having the continuous happiness, let's explore this happiness and prosperity. Let us now explore into the meaning of happiness first. Try to recollect situations when you feel happy. You will see that there is a set of feelings which you are able to accept effortlessly and naturally. These are feelings such as trust, respect, being confident about your future, etc. So these feelings are naturally and effortlessly acceptable to each one of us. We also welcome these feelings and desire them to continue in ourselves. When we observe such feelings, we find that these are the situations when we are in harmony, and these feelings are a reflection of that harmony. Take, for example, respect. Respect is a state of harmony between two human beings. When I respect the other and the other respects me, I like to be in that situation. It gives me happiness. Similarly, looking within me, When I have harmony in my thoughts, my feelings, I feel so when there is a harmony in my thoughts, my feelings, I feel relaxed, happy. If this harmony is disturbed, I feel uneasy. Try to look at all the moments when you feel happy. You will find that there is an element of harmony in it, which you like. So we'll keep exploring about this harmony in the rest of the sessions. So we can thus understand happiness as it's a state or situation in which I live. If there is harmony or synergy in it, then I like to be in that state or situation. To be in a state of liking is happiness. So, when we are in such a state of happiness, we experience no struggle, no contradiction or conflict within, and we enjoy such a state of being and we wish to have its continuity. On the other hand, when we experience feelings such as failure, disrespect, lack of confidence, being doubtful in ourselves or about others, we feel unhappy as they are states of conflict. These are the states when there is lack of harmony either within us or between us and others. We do not wish for continuation of these feelings within and want to try and change them. We can call this unhappiness. So we can thus state unhappiness as a state or situation in which I live. If there is conflict or contradiction in it, then I do not like to be in that state or situation. So to be in a state of disliking is unhappiness. Thus, we can define happiness and unhappiness as to be in a state of harmony is happiness, to be in a state of disharmony or contradiction is unhappiness. It is important to point out that we do get an impression of happiness through our sensory interaction, also, such as while eating tasty food, seeing a beautiful picture, smelling a sweet fragrance, etc. But these impressions of happiness are always short lived and their continuity can never be ensured. So, if in fact all attempts to seek the continuity of happiness through sensory interaction only leads to more and more misery. And coming to the prosperity, we have spoken about happiness so far. So, now let's look into the prosperity, whether it is essential. So, it is easy to see that prosperity is related to material things or what we call as physical facilities. We think of all the things we need today. We use a brush to clean our teeth, clothes to wear, food to eat, vessels to cook, and eat the food in, a pair of spectacles, a two wheeler or four wheeler vehicle, a radio set, a mobile phone, etc. So, we need physical things to take care of our body, and these need to be catered to. So, when we are able to cater to the needs of the body adequately, we feel prosperous. So, prosperity is the feeling of having or making available more than required physical facilities. To ascertain prosperity, two things are essential: correct assessment of need for physical facilities and competence of making available more than required physical facilities, that is, through production. So, we need physical facilities as we discussed. Do you think we can quantify the need for physical facilities? Is there a limit to the need for physical facilities? So we'll discuss about these issues in coming sections. At this point, one thing can be clearly stated that we can be prosperous only if there is a limit to the need for physical facilities. If there is no limit whatsoever be the availability with us, the feeling of prosperity cannot be assured. Secondly, just assessing the need is not enough. We need to be able to produce or make available more than the perceived need. Thus, prosperity can be clearly understood and evaluated. Evaluate it for yourself. See if there is a limit to the need for physical facilities that you have listed for yourself. See whether you feel prosperous at the moment. This is an important thing to understand. While understanding prosperity, let us look at another point, the difference between wealth and prosperity. Is there a difference? For example, let's assume I have a lot of wealth, a lot of money. You come to my house, but I get worried that You may stay back longer than expected, and I might have to feed you tea, snacks, or even a meal. It's a funny situation, but it may happen. What would we call this state? A person has a lot of money but does not want to share even a bit of it. The person has wealth but feels deprived. In other words, the person does not have a feeling of being prosperous. If one felt prosperous, he or she would have shared what one has, since there is more than enough wealth anyway. On the other hand, someone who does not have a lot of wealth may welcome you into his or her house and ask you to stay back for a few days and help you out. This is an indication of feeling prosperous. Thus, we can see that wealth is a physical thing. It means having money or having a lot of physical facilities or both. Prosperity is a feeling of having more than required. It's a feeling of having more than required physical facility. It's not just physical facilities. So this is very important distinction. We mostly fail to make this distinction today. We keep working for wealth without realizing that the basic desire is for the feeling of prosperity, to have a feeling of having enough. Let's ask ourselves, what is naturally acceptable to me? Accumulating more and more wealth while feeling deprived, or having requisite wealth and feeling prosperous? So we find the latter naturally acceptable. Not only do we want wealth, but we want to feel prosperous too. In other words, our basic desire is to feel prosperous, and wealth is a means to that end. In order to feel prosperous, we need to first decide how much wealth or physical things is needed. Else, it is like trying to fill water in a glass that has no bottom. So the glass will never be filled, howsoever one may try. So we see that today we are generally unable to do this. We are busy accumulating wealth, but we don't feel prosperous. This is because we do not identify our needs, and hence, no matter how much we have, it's always we feel deprived. It's also important to point out or to have a clarity that the continuity of prosperity can be ensured only if our resources in a renewable manner, and it is utilized appropriate technologies so that the human needs are satisfied and nature is also enriched. For example, we need food for the body. We grow grains in our fields. If the farming method is such that it retains or enhances the fertility of the soil, we can continue growing greens on the same piece of land and keep feeding our body. Otherwise, the land may turn barren after some time, and we may have to go without food. If we have a look at the prevailing notions of happiness and prosperity, at the level of individual, rising problems of depression, psychological disorders, suicides, stress, insecurity, psychosomatic disease, loneliness, etc. At the level of the family, breaking of joint families, mistrust, conflict between older and younger generations, insecurity in relationships, divorce, dowry, tortures, family feuds, wasteful expenditure in family functions, etc. And coming to at the level of society, growing incidences of terrorism, Naxalism, rising communalisms, spreading casteism, racial and ethnic struggle, wars between nations, attempts of genocide, fear of nuclear and genetic warfare. At the level of nature, global warming, water, air, soil, noise, etc., pollution, resource depletion of minerals and mineral oils, seasonal deforestations, loss of fertility of soil. So, if therefore it's a call for an urgent need for human beings to correctly understand happiness and prosperity, as well as the sustainable way to achieve these. So, this theme will be gradually unfolded in the following chapters. So it all needs the right understanding, the wisdom, science, behavior, work, everything. So we must have an undivided human society, ensuring human to human relationship from family to world family. So the universal order, human tradition, ensuring human order in which human goal is to fulfill from generation to generation. So we can see this diagram where we can see the power, dynamic activity, and state activity. Here we have these desires, thought, expectations. So this desire, thought, expectation is like imagining something, analyzing, selecting, comparing, and tasting. So all these should be based on the right understanding with all the right feelings and natural acceptance. Like what is naturally acceptable to me, that should be known to one in order to have this realization within. Then only we can understand that we're all the harmony in coexistence and also harmony in nature. Participation in a larger order can be possible. Coexistence, harmony, justice, guided senses, health. So above all, we have to understand like what is happiness, having continuous happiness and continuous prosperity. So exploration as a methodology can be viewed as so proposals from the outside. It's a dimensions of thoughts, verifying that proposals on the basis of our natural acceptance. So again, it's a behavior and work, whether there is a mutual happiness, mutual fulfillment, mutual prosperity, mutual enrichment. Thank you.